mga Kabayan Techers, this is your The Kabayan Tech. Today what we're going to do is we're going to replace a battery for a 15-inch 2014 MacBook Pro.
Welcome. 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 Welcome.
Okay, let's begin. So let me just put this one aside. So I bought this one from a third party. Normally for batteries, when it comes to Retina computers, they are glued onto the top case. Normally, if you bring it to Apple, they're going to replace the whole top case, meaning the keyboard, then the aluminum frame for that part, and it's a little bit costly. Though this is not the conventional way of replacing your battery, but I've been replacing batteries for the Retina computers for quite some time already, and I have some success on the way or the manner that I replace the battery. If you have any other way of doing it, feel free to comment below. Those are the ones that could make our repair lives a little bit easier, but this is the way that I have done this battery replacement for quite some time. So we have the 15-inch Retina 2014, and then I have the replacement battery here. You have the plastic spludger T4, T5. There are some batteries that you could buy original that they have like the logos and everything. So but I find this supplier of mine pretty reliable because I could I could send it back if there's something wrong with the battery. So that's the primary concern that I have. Just to show you the battery, you could also buy batteries from Amazon. I did that one before. The problem with that is the return policy. If something goes wrong with the battery, for example, you installed it and after a few days, when it goes to like 20 or 30% of the battery, the actual charged battery, it dies mysteriously. In this case, for this battery, I could actually return it and have a warranty replacement for this one, and it's easier. Okay, so the battery that I have in here has instructions on it. They do have the tools at the same time. Again, whatever method that makes your repair lives easier, that's the best method that you could follow. You feel free to send a comment and then just share what method that is successful for you. Okay, so let's start with the repair. First thing that I'm going to do is take out the screws using the T5 here. So make sure that the screws goes on the same location because there are screws that are longer and there are screws that are shorter, and you don't want to put the longer one on the shorter port because it's going to go back on that port, but you are actually destroying the actual port itself. So this MacBook Pro 15-inch 2014 Retina has a service status battery. So we're going to replace that one. Pull it up here, then hold this part, okay, just to guide it. Okay, and then there we go. There is a sticker here, so we're going to lift up that sticker, okay, and you will see that this would be exposed. Then this is a block that you could pull out by 2 fingers, or you could use the black stick to lift it up. Okay, and there you go. And then this sticker I usually take out. There are 2 layers to it. So the outer one, and there's like a solid block that has the white marker for liquid indicator. So I take those 2 out. I just pull them up. My intention was to transfer this going to that battery. There are 2 T4 screw heads that you have to take out. So what I do is I use a plastic spludger and heat. Okay, so the guidance for the heat is once you touch the surface and it's if it's hot to touch, then you stop doing the blower. You might notice that the speaker here are getting in the way. Not like the 13-inch that you could easily take out the speakers. The problem with this one is for you to take out the speakers, you have to take out the whole board because there are a few plastic underneath that is part of this speaker. So don't force it. So the thing that I have success with is, so let me do this part first on my right. So I take out the 2 screws for the speaker, and make sure you are grounded correctly if you're doing this repair. So there are 2 bits that you're going to take out. They are 2 different ones. So again, they go on to a specific portion of the speaker. So what I do is once I take it out, so let me just cover this one. Okay. I apply some heat on this part where the battery is. Put it into 200 or 250 would be fine. You could use a regular hair dryer. That is fine too. Your indicator for you to stop is if you touch it, it's too hot to touch, then you stop. Okay. Reason why we're doing this is there are double-sided adhesives for the battery. And again, the typical way of replacing your battery is to replace the whole top case. But in that case, you're looking at around the 300, 400, 500 mark at the most. And if you're going to compute the amount of money that you're going to spend for the year of the computer, you might say that it's not worth it. In my case, the battery that I spent is close to $90. If you are a regular customer from a specific supplier, you could even get it for $50 or $60. So I'm just checking if it's hot to touch. So I'm not sponsored by any supplier. Okay, I think that's a little bit warmer. Okay, I can still touch it. So I'm going to put it back. I have like a tissue here that's supplied with the battery, so at least it protects you from scratching the top portion. I'm just going to gently lift this portion up where I could put the plastic spludger at the side. Be careful not to totally push it up because you're going to break the speaker on this side. So I let go of the speaker and then I just gently rock the plastic spludger left to right. If there is a force still fighting, then you still have to do the heat. So if you see that your spludger is going halfway already, all you have to do is twist onto the bottom and then you could do it that way and then you're almost done. Again, there are some comments that will eventually pop up. Hey, why don't you use like a metal spludger? For the sake of safety, I don't use that. That will create like a thermal event if you puncture the battery. So I'm going to put back the screw for the speakers now. So you might notice I had successfully removed the first one. They are all connected to each other, so make sure you don't pull them up. So next is, since I have access on the first one, then I'm going to do this way and then try to go through the next battery cell. I start on the bottom. Okay, I just gently rock it back and forth. And if you notice you don't have any movement whatsoever and it's still resisting, then do apply heat on the other side. So I notice that this one is giving me an opportunity to move my spludger at the very bottom here. Then I could do the spludger going up and that would be easier. And there we go. So I do the same procedure on the other side. You could apply a painter's tape on this one so that they don't flap over. So on this side, I'm going to remove the screw for the speakers. Again, the screws, they go on a certain way, so take note of that part. Before I do the spludger, I have to heat this one up a little bit. I'm going to heat up this part. So probably around 2 to 3 minutes. So how about replacing the battery for the 2016, 2017, 2018? That could be a different way of doing it. There is a specific procedure to do that. I haven't done too many of those. For the 2012 and below, the battery is not glued in. They are just screwed onto the case. So you could just buy a replacement, take out the screw, and put it back in. For the MacBook Air until 2017, they are screwed in, so you could just use your T4, T5 to remove that one, and you don't need to heat up the case. So for the Pro Retinas, they are glued onto the case starting from late 2012, early 2013, 14, 15. Again, it's the same procedure. So you lift the speaker here on this side that you could have a clearance that you could put the yellow spludger. Don't lift it up too much because you're going to break the speaker portion here. Let me just put back the speaker. So what if you broke the speaker? It could be just the plastic that had broken. But the problem is if you have broken the actual speaker itself with the flex, then you have to buy the speaker itself. I'm done with the first cell, so I go on the bottom of the second cell. Okay, so we have the 2 flaps on each side that are already good to go. So this part we have to remove. Again, similar to what I did on the 13-inch, I'm going to heat up again the trackpad portion here. Again, if your gauge of too hot to touch is really hot, the portion of the trackpad here. Okay, I think that's enough. So either of each side would work, depends on what you're used to. So I'm used to going from this side first. So I lift this one a bit. I lift this one so that there's a plastic edge here so that my yellow spludger can go in. Okay, so again, it would be the same thing. I would suggest going on the bottom part of the battery. If there is too much resistance, you have to do heat gun again. If you do the bottom for the middle one, there's no way for you to swivel the spludger because this part is all plastic. Take a look. If the yellow part goes through here, then it means that this part is already detached. So then I go on to the second half. You might notice that it detached a little bit easier than the first one. Okay, then you will see it here already. Means that we're through with the middle portion and we go on to the top portion. And there we go. There we go. Next would be this one. I do it on the other side too. Again, I start on the bottom part. If there is too much resistance and you don't see any movement of your spludger, then do the heat gun again. Don't apply too much pressure downward because you might damage the screen. And it's almost there. Okay. Then I pull it up. And then I go onto the middle portion and I do the same thing. Again, when is the best time to do it? To change your battery, I would suggest doing this one when the battery is fully drained because it's fully discharged and there's no more too much current going into the cell. Okay, and there we go. Okay, and then all we have to do is pull it away from us. See, you might notice the reason why we're not angling it or swiveling it at the bottom. So there are some tape that are still here. It is your option to remove them, but what I do is I remove this portion and this portion. I take some in here that are protruding and then I leave the rest. Option for this one is you could use actual heat again directly to this one because they are tape, or you could spray some isopropyl alcohol for it to loosen up. So let me just fast forward everything. I'm going to heat up this part and try to take out everything. So I usually clean the two sides, the two corners here. When it comes to the middle, it's your choice, but I don't usually clean them up because there's like a latch here that holds through the battery itself. Okay, what I suggest you doing is you grab a packing tape or a painter's tape and do it this way. I encourage you to dispose the battery ethically. So I have the removed one. And then I'm going to get the battery here. So you might notice the battery, they have a plastic here and also the double-sided tape underneath. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the stickers underneath it. So this is a double-sided. Okay. Some of them, they use the original tape that the Apple is using. Some of them uses a typical double-sided tape. To slide it here in the middle first, make sure that the holes are aligned for the screws, and then you could just gently lay it flat and see if everything lines up on the screw. So we put back the screw first. Okay, and then we could tighten this one up. Okay. Next thing that we're going to do is to just simply use your finger, two fingers here, and then for the middle side and then the other side. So just that they heal. And then I remove the plastic part. So before I put that sticker back, I'm going to plug this one in first. There we go. And then this one goes in here. And then next one is to put back the cover. And again, it's the same thing. What I do is I just put the four corners first just to test. There are some that they test this one without putting the bottom cover, and that's okay too. And you test it by having it lie on the side. Okay, so let's do the test. Okay, do the procedure of doing the SMC reset and also the NVRAM or the PRAM reset. So once I put in the charger, the MacBook Pro will automatically turn on by itself. Once it turns on by itself, or if it, all you have to do is just press the power again and then turn it off. So let's do the SMC reset by pressing Control, Options, Shift, and Power button for 10 seconds all at the same time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you let go. The indicator will turn green, then turn red again. It means that the SMC has been reset. Then your computer will automatically turn on. Let's turn it off again. I'm going to do the NVRAM or PRAM reset. So the SMC reset resets the power controller. The NVRAM resets the settings of your computer, so at least everything is in its default state. We press Option Command PNR and then the power button. So I press that one, and then the computer will chime, still holding it, then it turns off, and then the second chime you let go of everything. Okay, so let's do that. Computer chimes, still pressing, computer turns off, and then wait for the computer to chime again, then let go. That's it, mga Kabayan Techers. This is your The Kabayan Tech. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or videos that you want me to cover, please comment down below. Hit the notification bell. So again, thank you very much and have a good day.